Hey there, bookworms and poetry enthusiasts, ready to delve into the fascinating world of poetry with you. Today, we're tackling a giant in the field. T.S. Eliot, you know him, the April is the cruelest month guy. Yeah, that's our man. Now, Eliot wasn't just a poet, he was a critic too. He thought a lot about poetry, how it worked, and what made it tick. In his essay, The Three Voices of Poetry, he dropped some serious knowledge bombs about the different ways poets use their voices. This essay is like the cheat sheet to understanding poetry, folks. So buckle up, grab your thinking caps, and let's dive right in. Section 2. The First Voice. Whispers from Within. This section delves into the intimate and often confessional nature of poetry, where the poet's voice is a whisper from within their soul. First up, we've got the poet talking to himself voice. This is the voice that emerges when a poet is alone, reflecting deeply on their thoughts and emotions. It's a solitary conversation, a dialogue with oneself that reveals the raw and unfiltered essence of their being. This is that intimate, confessional kind of poetry where the poet is basically just thinking out loud on paper. It's a form of self-expression that allows the poet to explore their innermost thoughts and feelings without any external judgment or interference. The act of writing becomes a therapeutic process, a way to make sense of their experiences and emotions. It's like eavesdropping on their innermost thoughts and feelings. As readers, we become privy to the poet's private world, gaining insight into their struggles, joys, fears, and dreams. This type of poetry creates a deep connection between the poet and the reader, as it speaks to the universal human experience of introspection and self-discovery.
Think of those romantic poets like William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. These poets were masters of the first voice, using their work to delve into their personal emotions and experiences. They believed that poetry should be a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, and their work often reflects this belief. They were all about exploring their own emotions and experiences in their poetry. For them, poetry was a way to understand themselves and the world around them. They used their writing to process their thoughts and feelings, creating works that are deeply personal and introspective. Wordsworth's Tintern Abbey is a classic example of this first voice. In this poem, Wordsworth reflects on his past experiences and his deep connection to nature. He uses the poem to explore his feelings of nostalgia, peace, and spiritual renewal, creating a work that is both deeply personal and universally relatable. It's all about his personal connection to nature and how it makes him feel. Deep stuff, right? Wordsworth's ability to convey his emotions and thoughts so vividly allows readers to connect with his experiences on a profound level. His poetry becomes a mirror, reflecting our own feelings and experiences back at us. This first voice is all about the poet trying to understand themselves and the world around them. It's a journey of self-discovery, where the poet uses their writing to navigate their inner landscape. Through their words, they seek to make sense of their emotions, experiences, and the complexities of life. It's personal, it's emotional, and it's often pretty darn revealing. This type of poetry invites readers to embark on a journey with the poet, exploring the depths of the human experience. It's a powerful reminder of the cathartic and transformative power of poetry, and its ability to connect us to our own inner worlds and to each other.
Section 3. The Second Voice. Speaking to the crowd. Next, we've got the poet addressing an audience voice. This is a crucial aspect of poetry that often gets overlooked. When a poet speaks to a crowd, they are not just reciting words. They are creating an experience, a shared moment of connection and understanding. This is where the poet puts on their public speaking hat and delivers a message to the masses. It's a blend of performance and literature where the poet's voice becomes a bridge between the written word and the audience's emotions. The energy in the room can be electric, with every word resonating deeply with the listeners. Think of it like a poetry slam, but on paper. The poet's voice is dynamic, full of passion and intensity, aiming to captivate and move the audience. It's a performance that transcends the page, bringing the poetry to life in a way that is both powerful and memorable.
Robert Browning was a master of this second voice. His ability to engage the audience through his dramatic monologues is unparalleled. Browning's works are not just poems, They are theatrical performances that draw the reader into the speaker's world. His dramatic monologues, like My Last Duchess, are basically one-sided conversations where the speaker is trying to persuade the listener of something. These monologues are rich with character and emotion, making the audience feel as though they are part of the narrative. And then there's Walt Whitman, the OG of free verse, who spoke directly to the American people in his epic Leaves of Grass. Whitman's voice is expansive and inclusive, reaching out to the reader with a sense of camaraderie and shared experience. His poetry is a celebration of the human spirit, inviting the audience to join in his vision of a united, democratic society. This second voice is all about communication, persuasion, and sometimes even a little bit of showmanship. It's the poet's way of connecting with the audience on a deeper level, using their voice to convey not just the meaning of the words, but the emotions and intentions behind them. It's the poet as performer, engaging with the audience and trying to make them feel something. Whether it's through the intensity of a dramatic monologue or the inclusive warmth of free verse, the poet's second voice is a powerful tool for creating a shared experience. This voice transforms the act of reading poetry into a communal event, where the audience becomes an active participant in the poetic journey. The poet's words become a living, breathing entity, resonating with each listener in a unique and personal way. This is the magic of speaking to the crowd, where poetry transcends the page and becomes a dynamic, interactive art form.
Section 4. The third voice, a conduit for the universe. This section delves into the profound and often mystical role of the poet as a medium, a conduit for universal truths and timeless wisdom. The idea here is that the poet is not merely a creator of words, but a vessel through which the universe speaks. Now, for the grand finale, we have the poet as a medium voice. This is the voice that transcends the personal and the immediate, reaching into the depths of the collective human experience. It's the voice that resonates with something eternal, something that speaks to the core of our being. This is where things get a little mystical, folks. The poet, in this role, becomes a bridge between the mundane and the divine, between the known and the unknown. They tap into a source of inspiration that feels almost otherworldly, channeling insights and visions that seem to come from a place beyond ordinary human experience. This voice is about the poet tapping into something bigger than themselves, something universal and timeless. It's about connecting with the collective unconscious, the shared pool of human knowledge and experience that transcends individual lives and moments. The poet becomes a vessel for truths that are as old as time itself, yet ever relevant and ever new.
Eliot himself was a big fan of this third voice. He believed that the poet's role was not just to express personal feelings or tell individual stories, but to tap into the deeper currents of human experience and bring forth insights that resonate on a universal level. In his own poetry, like The Wasteland, he explored themes of spirituality, mythology, and the human condition. He used his work to grapple with the big questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. The nature of existence, the search for meaning, the struggle between good and evil. He wasn't just talking about his own little problems. He was grappling with the big questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. His poetry was a way of engaging with the mysteries of life, of seeking answers to the profound questions that lie at the heart of the human experience. Another great example of this third voice is William Blake. Blake's work is filled with visionary imagery and mystical symbolism, reflecting his belief that the poet is a seer, a prophet who can glimpse the hidden truths of the universe. His poetry is full of visionary imagery and mystical symbolism. He saw the poet as a visionary, someone who could see beyond the surface of reality and reveal the deeper truths that lie beneath. He wasn't afraid to get weird and explore the darker, more mysterious side of life. His work often delves into the realms of the supernatural and the surreal, challenging readers to expand their understanding of reality and embrace the unknown. This third voice is all about transcendence, about connecting with something larger than ourselves. It's about reaching beyond the limits of the individual self and tapping into the collective consciousness, the shared pool of human experience and wisdom. It's the poet as prophet, seer, or mystic, channeling truths from beyond the everyday world. This voice speaks to the eternal, the timeless, the universal. It reminds us that poetry is not just about words on a page, but about the deeper connections that bind us all together, the shared human experience that transcends time and space. When we listen to this third voice, we are reminded of the power of poetry to touch our souls, to awaken our minds, and to connect us with the mysteries of the universe. It's a voice that calls us to look beyond the surface of things, to seek out the deeper truths that lie hidden beneath. So, the next time you read a poem or listen to a poet speak, remember that you are not just hearing words, but tapping into a rich tradition of human thought and feeling. You are connecting with the third voice, the conduit for the universe, the timeless and universal truths that bind us all together. This is the magic of poetry, the power of the third voice. It is a reminder that we are all part of something greater, something eternal and infinite. And through the words of the poet, we can glimpse the mysteries of the universe and feel the profound connections that unite us all. So, let us celebrate the poets who serve as conduits for the universe, who bring forth the timeless truths that resonate with our souls. Let us honor the third voice, the voice that speaks to the eternal and the universal, and reminds us of the profound beauty and mystery of existence. In the end, the third voice is a testament to the power of poetry to transcend the ordinary and touch the divine. It is a reminder that through the words of the poet, we can connect with the deepest truths of the universe and find meaning in the mysteries of life. So, let us listen to the third voice, the conduit for the universe, and let it guide us on our journey through the mysteries of existence. For in the words of the poet, we find the timeless truths that bind us all together, the universal connections that transcend time and space.